Hello, Wealth Builder, and welcome to the Career and Coin Blueprint, the 9 to 5ers ultimate guide on how to build generational wealth. I am your gracious host, Ijoma Love Obijulu, and in this blueprint, I outline the financial framework I used to build an 8-figure private equity firm, all while raising 5 children and climbing the corporate ladder. Welcome. This is the first step to financial freedom. In this blueprint, we'll start off with a fun trivia. Then we'll go into who we are, what we do, and our mission and vision. Next, we'll tell you a little bit about our story, why we do what we do, and what is Career and Coin. Lastly, we'll end with why TKBs, and don't worry, you'll learn about that term later, our portfolio, why now, and next steps. All right, let's get this party started. Let's start off with some fun trivia. True or false? I can successfully replace my 9 to 5 income, grow that income by 10x or more, and work much less than I do today with the same skills I have today. What do you think? Yes or no? So let's talk about the team behind Career and Coin. So this is what we do. CIO Capital Management is a private equity firm that manages a portfolio of companies that span a wide variety of industries, including restaurant, technology, logistics, real estate, and storage. You can find us on LinkedIn and Instagram and stay connected to learn about news and updates with the firm. Now let's talk about the why behind what we do. At CIO Capital Management, we believe a 9 to 5 is a stepping stone for building generational wealth, and we envision a world where people can 10x their income without having to upskill or work more. Our mission is to make TKB acquisition easily accessible to anyone seeking financial freedom, and we do that by helping them 10x their income so they can focus on what matters most to them. All right, so let's talk a little bit about our story. If I had to summarize my 12-year career into one phrase, it would be this: one can chase 1,000, but two can chase 10,000. My husband and I are two millennial Nigerian immigrants who went from being broke students to self-made multimillionaires, all while raising 5 kids. Yes, we said 5. When we got married 12 years ago, we had one shared goal, and that was to build generational wealth and create the life of our dreams. But here's the problem. We had no idea where to start. See, growing up as first-generation immigrants, we already knew that education and hard work was the starting point. But as you know, that just isn't enough. So over time, we learned the money-making strategies of the wealthy, found great mentors, and took action, all while building our executive careers in corporate America. 12 years later, our private equity and venture capital firm, CIO Capital Management, employs over 95 people globally and manages an 8-figure portfolio that spans multiple industries, of which include transportation and logistics, technology, restaurant, storage, and real estate. Here, we focus on strong cash flow in companies for even stronger connections and communities. We did all this by using a unique financial framework, and in this blueprint, we outline that framework for you. So here's where it all started. I grew up in the inner city, and after emigrating here from Nigeria at the age of 3, I learned very quickly that there's 3 things I need to focus on: get good grades, get a good job, and have a family. See, my definition of success was defined around this. But something in me just wanted more. I wanted a bigger home. I wanted to travel the world. But I knew that required money. So the question was, how would I make that money? That was the question I asked myself ever since I was a little girl, and it guided me all the way into my adulthood. If I had to summarize my life into 4 phases, this would be phase 1: broke and highly educated. See, 12 years ago, we were just 2 naive immigrants caught up in the corporate rat race. And we asked ourselves the questions that millions of people ask themselves every single day. How do I build wealth? Like real wealth. And I'm not talking about making money as an Instagram influencer or a multi-level marketer, not saying anything negative against them, but just as your normal 9 to 5er. And just so you know, our definition of wealth wasn't a, hey, let's buy a Porsche or 2. We wanted to say, babe, let's vacation for 6 months and never have to worry about the bills. That's the kind of wealth we wanted to build. And this would be phase 2, bamboozled by the middle class myth and finally dabbling in entrepreneurial experimentation. See, we rented a townhome and we were knee deep in corporate America. I had convinced myself that we achieved the American dream. I mean, think about it. I was working in corporate America, top of my game as a Nigerian, millennial, immigrant woman in tech. And here I am with my 25 plus org team in Bangalore, India, making $180,000 a year. We had it all, right? No, I wanted more. I wanted a mansion. I wanted to travel. I wanted my kids to see the world. But that all required money. So we searched for the financial information that would change our lives. No, actually, scratch that. We wanted to change our grandkids' lives. And remember, this is before the era of Instagram gurus, YouTube boot camps, and TikTok tutorials. We'd had little information. And when we started our journey, information was at its very best scarce. And this is phase 3. We finally felt like we were launching our pathway to prosperity. We bought our first home, and we actually convinced ourselves that we achieved the American dream. I mean, look at us. We bought our first home in our 30s while raising kids and being in corporate America. Eventually, hubby actually exited to take us to the next level. I stayed until we could successfully replace my income. So we just dove into research. Finally, we stumbled upon the man by name of Dan Pena, and the heavens opened. Well, not quite. Access to his wealth building strategies came with a pretty hefty $30,000 price tag. That's right, a whole 30K. Needless to say, that felt like 30 million. So instead, we did it the hard way. We learned all on our own. After months of research, we finally understood what it takes to build wealth. We saved like crazy, and we took action. And this is phase 4, the moment where we can happily and thankfully and confidently say that we have achieved financial freedom. We are building generational wealth and building the life of our dreams. See, we grew that $130,000 investment into CIO Capital Management, a firm that manages over $15 million in assets. We know there's millions of 9 to 5ers out there looking for the same information we struggle to find. So when we made it, we promised to pay it forward. Not having guidance during your wealth building journey can be extremely lonely, but I'm so glad to say that we are here. So we carved out time from our very crazy lives. Did we mention we have 5 kids? To develop career and coin. an educational platform and community that teaches 9-to-5ers how to exit the corporate ladder and build a 6 to 8 figure cash flow. Can someone say finally? When we do anything, we always ask ourselves one question: why? For us, we realized that our why was simple. You don't pass on W-2s, you pass on wealth. We wanted to build a legacy, and we wanted to give our children something that they could be proud of, and we wanted their children and their children to also feel proud. So our why? Our kids. Here's 3 out of 5 of them seeing the benefit of being the boss and ownership. This is in our logistics company in New Jersey. This was our second acquisition, and man, they had so much fun seeing Daddy in action. To achieve our definition of the American dream, we master 2 main concepts: cash flow and companies. See, in our 20s, we knew absolutely nothing about this. But in our 30s, we can confidently say that we've learned what it takes to build solid cash flow and solid companies. This is what helped us achieve financial freedom. So this was very different from what we grew up with, and probably what you grew up with. It wasn't about going to a good school, or getting another degree, or getting a good job. It was simply about understanding what it really took to build wealth. So to get the desired results that you want, which I'm sure is very similar to mine, you have to do something drastically different. Emphasis on drastically. So I've told you about our story, how we started, and where we are today. Now you're probably asking, so what exactly is Career in Coin? Career in Coin is an educational platform and community that teaches 9-to-5ers the unique framework we use to build generational wealth. It consists of 3 phases: SLC, Save Like Crazy; BTB, Buy the Business; and RTP, Repeat the Process. The ultimate goal is for you to create and protect your wealth by generating multiple streams of cash flow. And you do this through what we call TKB acquisition, turnkey business. Career in Coin is rooted in a very simple principle, and it's called revenue on day one. As I mentioned, the Career in Coin framework consists of 3 phases. Phase 1, you save like crazy. This is where you protect the bag. You save everything you possibly can, and you do everything possible not to spend it on anything unnecessary. Phase 2, you buy the business. This is where you acquire the revenue. You don't have to worry about starting from scratch, the beauty of TKB acquisition. The last phase is repeat the process. This is when you 10x. See, what you've done once, you can do it 3 times, 5 times, 10 times, 100 times over. That is how you build generational wealth. Okay, guys, it's time for a quick knowledge check. As the founders of CIO Capital Management, how much did we save to acquire our first TKB, of which later grew into an 8-figure portfolio of companies? $10,000, $130,000, or $5,000? That's right, $130,000. In 2019, CIO Capital Management acquired its first TKB using $130,000 in savings generated from our 9-to-5s. So why do we focus on turnkey businesses? Turnkey businesses give you revenue, profit, and customers on day one. You have people, process, product, and technology already in place. When you buy a turnkey business, you can actually sell it, and you can sell it for 2, 3 times or even more what you bought it. You build credit line power with the banks and financial institutions, which is exactly how the wealthy continue to build wealth in America. And there's less risk. Compared to stocks, buying an existing and mature business is less likely to give you headaches down the road. Over the years, we have truly mastered the art of acquisition. Last year, the Evans Network of Companies, a billion-dollar family-owned company, held their 20th year anniversary gala. During this time, they recognized transportation companies who generated $1 to $50 million in revenue. We had the tremendous honor of representing our amazing team to accept an award for growing our company, CIO Logistics, to over $6 million in revenue. We did this within 6 months of acquisition. So let's dive into our portfolio. Our first acquisition was in the restaurant industry. While I stayed in corporate America, my husband exited to focus on running the business full time. After 1 year, we sold that business for 2 times what we bought it. This was our first lesson in exiting. Listen, when you buy a business, don't feel the need to hold on. If you've made your money and you can leverage that money to buy something bigger and better, do it. Our second acquisition was in the technology industry. If you can think of Uber as connecting people with drivers, this app connected people with cleaners. We applied a lot of the knowledge and skills that we learned from corporate America to take this company to the next level. As a matter of fact, after a couple of months, this company became the highest rated cleaning company in northern New Jersey. Acquisition number 3, transportation. Here we are with the previous owner settling into our new office. If there's one thing we learned during COVID, it's this. Transportation and logistics is a wonderful industry because no matter what, goods must always move. Acquisition number 4, storage. This is Chitty visiting our warehouse and checking in on the loading process. We do our very best to visit all of our businesses at least once a year, and we encourage every business owner to do the same. Acquisition number 5, transportation. By this time, I had the tremendous honor and privilege of finally exiting corporate America and leaving my dream job as Chief of Staff of Nordstrom. Here I am running our weekly team meeting from my home office. Our team is spread out across Denver, Philippines, Nigeria, Dominican Republic, and is really a global company. I'm really excited to see them in person, and I can't wait to continue expanding our team and doing amazing work across all of our portfolios. Acquisition number 6, transportation. So you've probably figured out that we found our sweet spot. For any business owner, I encourage them to dominate a market. For us, it was transportation and logistics. We discovered that no matter what, goods must always move. So we decided to really focus our efforts strategically on acquiring more transportation companies. Acquisition number 7, transportation and real estate. By this time, Chitty and I made a strategic decision to expand our CIO capital management portfolio into real estate. So this acquisition was a very special one. It's a mature transportation company, solid revenue, cash flow, and customers. But in addition, it came with property. Having the property attached to this business makes it an even sweeter deal. Acquisition number 8, transportation and real estate. As you can see, our 2023 strategy to expand the CIO capital management portfolio into real estate is doing very well. This is our second real estate acquisition in 2023. As of today, we are working on our third real estate acquisition of the year. We are expanding into Phoenix, Arizona, and are really excited to see our portfolio expand into real estate development. All right, who's ready for a knowledge check? You can 10x your income without having to work more or upskill. I can do this by doing what? A, acquiring TKBs, B, saving my income, or C, all of the above? That's right, all of the above. Acquiring a turnkey business is the equivalent of buying revenue. You can acquire a TKB by doing exactly what we did to grow our private equity firm into 8 figures. Save your income and use that as capital to acquire your TKB, and just repeat the process. All right, so you've learned about our winning wealth building strategy, and you've learned about turnkey business acquisition. Now, some of you are probably asking yourself, man, how do I know this is for me? Here's how. If you have a 9 to 5 or steady income and actively saving money, this is a great strategy. If you're willing to dedicate 4 to 6 years to a winning financial strategy, this is for you. If you want to replace your income without having to upskill or work more. What about if you started a business but would rather buy revenue versus create it? And maybe you own a TKB, but you want to go faster. What about, look, I need expert support and mentorship to build this generational wealth. I need help and guidance. And if you want to regain time to enjoy life, build memories by traveling, this is for you. So you've decided that turnkey business acquisition is a great strategy for you. Congratulations. But now you're probably asking yourself, how do I know if this is the right time? In 2021, there were 2.5 million TKBs on the market, meaning there were 2.5 million turnkey businesses for sale. And those businesses were generating cash flow between 5 and 30 years. Around that time, there were also 10,000 baby boomers ready to retire. And 8 to 10% of those baby boomers owned the business. So what does that mean? There were approximately 2.4 million turnkey businesses for sale, all up for grabs. These people want to sell, and there's billions in revenue that's generated from these companies. But here's the problem. There's no succession. Their children don't want to take over the business, or they don't have the right team in place. Listen, what that means is that you can help them retire. You can buy their businesses, and you can own their cash flow. That is the turnkey business acquisition strategy. So you're convinced that this is the right time. Awesome. But to be transparent, turnkey business acquisition isn't for everyone. With that said, who is the ideal candidate? This is someone who has a 9 to 5 or some form of steady income. Perhaps you already own a business. Someone who wants cash flow and is hungry for financial freedom. These are the ideal candidates for the turnkey business acquisition strategy. When we made our first acquisition, Chitty and I had 100 reasons not to buy the company. These reasons could have been, I really would like to save this money for something else. Or, what if it doesn't work? But at some point, we had to take a step of faith. And more importantly, we had to do something drastically different to get drastically different results. Different results from our parents, from our grandparents. See, I couldn't predict tomorrow, so I had to create it. And as my husband says, I'd rather have 50% of $1 than 100% of nothing. See, turnkey business acquisition will always be a winning strategy. Okay, you're ready for financial freedom. That's awesome. I'm so happy you made that decision. Here is your TKB checklist. You want to make sure that you do everything on this page so that you can be on your pathway to prosperity. First, you want to read the blueprint. Congratulations on completing that. You've learned the TKB acquisition strategy. Next, you want to attend the Masterclass. This is where you learn how to execute the strategy. After the Masterclass, you'll have everything you need on how to buy your first TKB. You're going to buy your business and repeat the process. Then you want to stay connected. See, information is great, but with action, it yields results. Stay connected with CIO Capital Management and learn about high cash flow deals that are vetted by our team so you can potentially become a co-investor. then you want to stay connected with our career and coin community. You'll connect with other 9-to-5 wealth builders who are also on their TKB journey. And it gives you a great opportunity to potentially partner with someone so you can reach your TKB goal faster. Lastly, share the news. Let friends and family know that they can receive guidance on their wealth building journey and that they're not alone. What is the Career in Coin Masterclass? In short, this is where you'll learn how to acquire one or more TKBs. You'll deep dive into the 3 phases that I talked about: SLC, Save Like Crazy; BTB, Buy the Business; and RTP, Repeat the Process. You'll learn where to buy TKBs. You'll learn how to buy high cash flow TKBs, because remember, not all businesses are created equal. You'll learn all the factors that will help you determine a good versus bad TKB. And then you'll learn how to negotiate deals. Lastly, you'll know how to close deals and win, because when it comes to negotiating a contract, you never want to go in on the wrong foot. Remember, you don't need any experience to do this. All you need is to sign up for the masterclass. We have a 100% guarantee that after completing the blueprint and masterclass, you'll have the knowledge to acquire a TKB with guidance from CIO Capital Management. So these are your next steps. First, you want to complete the 1-minute application to attend the Career in Coin Masterclass. The masterclass consists of 2 phases. Phase 1, you execute the strategy. This is a presentation. Phase 2 is Q&A with me, Ijoma. It's a one-on-one Zoom where you get to ask me anything. After completing the application, you'll receive a confirmation email. In that email, you'll have 2 links. The first link will give you access to the presentation. The second link will give you access to my Calendly. This is how you'll be able to schedule time with me so I can answer any questions you might have. The next thing you want to do is help a friend or a family member. Share this free blueprint and let people know that if they need guidance on their wealth building journey, that we are here for them. The last thing you need to do is to join the Career in Coin Cash Flow community. We're on Facebook and Instagram. The important thing here is to know that you need a community and you need other people around you who are like-minded in their efforts to build generational wealth. You can connect with potential financial partners and business partners and accelerate your pathway to an 8-figure cash flow. Whew! You've made it! This is the end of the Career in Coin Blueprint, the 9-to-5er's ultimate guide on how to build generational wealth. We're going to end with this trivia. Remember the first question I asked you when we started out? I can successfully replace my 9-to-5 income, grow that income by 10x or more, and work much less than I do today with the same skills I have today. The answer is yes. So here's how you'll attend the masterclass. You want to click on the link that's inside the email that was sent with this presentation. After clicking on the link, you'll be directed to a 2-minute application for the TKB Masterclass. This masterclass is going to teach you step by step how to execute the wealth building strategy we laid out here in the blueprint. Your journey to cash flow and financial freedom is just beginning. This is the first step, and after the masterclass, we guarantee that you'll know everything you need to know to buy your first turnkey business. I want to end by saying thank you and congratulations. You're taking a bold and beautiful step to launching your pathway to prosperity. Your journey to financial freedom begins here, and I can't wait to see the amazing things you'll accomplish by becoming a part of the Career in Coin community. TKB acquisition is a winning financial strategy, and I'm so blessed to say that we have mastered it and that we're able to teach it to you. I can't wait to see you in the masterclass, and I look forward to helping you build the life of your dreams. Well, that's it. We've reached the end of the Career and Coin Blueprint. To my fellow wealth builder, I want you to know that you're not alone. This is going to be the most rewarding journey you'll ever go on. And I want you to know that it may not be the easiest, but I guarantee you're going to thank yourself for taking that bold step. So I want to end on this word of encouragement. Stay connected. The biggest thing that helped us achieve our turnkey business acquisition goals was being around like-minded individuals, people who were also on their wealth building journey and who were familiar with turnkey business acquisitions. So what you want to do is head on over to Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn and stay connected with our communities. Career and Coin, CIO Capital Management, That Tech Mom, and Real Chidio are channels that will keep you inspired as you go along your wealth building journey. Lastly, if you ever want to email us, feel free to do so. We're always here for you. All right, that is the end, and I can't wait to see you in the masterclass. I'm so honored and blessed to have shared this information with you. It's transformed my life, and I know it's going to transform yours as well. Cheers.